Grizzlies fans, the second half of a back-to-back tonight against the exact same team. We've got the Portland Trailblazers in town again today. Joining me this time is Brooke Olzendam. Brooke, you broke the 9-game losing streak with a win over and a convincing win over the Grizzlies last night.
Yeah, it felt good. It really did. Every team goes through, phases and ups and downs. This one was a good one. This one the team needed. And yes, you're right. Convincing. It was great. It was a fun win because obviously it just was a win in general, but it was fun because everyone got involved. Every Blazer but one, that was Baji, who only played a few minutes at the end, scored. And it was you saw like the usual suspects like Anthony and Jeremy. They were not, I wouldn't say they were off their games. They had, solid games, but it was everybody else that kind of stepped up. Guys that you might not even, newer Blazers because they're new Blazers, like Delano Banton, who was fantastic last night and had 19 points and shot very effectively, like over 50%.
Shout out Canada. We love
Yes, Canada. And he was our walk-off interview. He was fantastic. I've talked to him a few times, but that was the first time I got a full interview with him. And it was great. He was awesome. And you could just see how happy everyone was for him. He said that he's really, even though he hasn't seen success with the team since he arrived, which was about a month ago, he's like, I feel like I've been just welcomed with open arms. And so it was just a feel-good win. It needed, and also everyone contributed to it. And so that was kind of fun. Jabari Walker off the bench was awesome. That's who I'll talk to tonight for our pregame show, or right at the top of the broadcast. He'll be a part of the interview, and so that's fun just to see guys that maybe don't always get a ton of minutes get to be a part of the win, like actually say that they contributed to it. So it was much needed, and overall feelings were good last night in the locker room.
And we get to do it all again today. So for the Grizzlies, it's kind of the same type of injury report. Jaren and Derek are still out. Luke and Conchar are questionable today. They were doubtful yesterday. I saw that DeAndre Ayton for you guys is still doubtful, and then everyone else is kind of still out. So it's going to be the same matchup. We'll do it all again. I thought there were a lot of really impressive things that the Trailblazers did yesterday, and I'd like to highlight them and then ask you about them. One thing is simply the simple scoring. It was 122 to 92. This is the two lowest scoring teams in the NBA. The Blazers put up 122 points. Their defensive rating is 116. They kept the Grizzlies to 92 points. What was it? Like, what clicked?
So last night in the locker room, I talked to a bunch of guys and I asked that same question. And, sometimes shots just fall. But they said they actually said that they had a walkthrough that day, yesterday morning. And the focus from the coaching staff was communication. Like, we want to hear you over communicate. I don't ever want to not hear someone talking. And sometimes, we have our team, the Blazers are not a loud group, actually quite on the contrary, kind of quieter guys. Jeremy's kind of quieter. Anthony has come out of his shell since he started as a rookie. I mean, he maybe said 2 words the first year, and he's now more of a vocal leader. And so it's something that they're working on. They know that communication is key, especially in a team sport. So that was really a focus. So all of them took it to heart. Everyone I talked to said, yeah, they said they brought the same thing. We really focus on communication. So offensively, I think that showed because they were looking for the extra pass. Guys were, facilitating, making sure that it was the right shot with the right guy at the right time. And defensively, even more so, that was huge. Where you got to talk defensively, depending on what you're running. Like I got it, pick them up. Help. There's communication was the focus last night, and so I asked him. I said, well, I mean, it makes sense then that would be your focus moving forward because it was so effective for you tonight. So I'm looking forward to seeing the carryover from that, because every single guy I talked to really pointed out to that as the reason for their success on both ends of the floor. So communication. That's my answer.
I like it. Communication is, they talk about that all the time. Communicate early and often. That's like the key to basketball. The other thing that I wanted to highlight was points in the paint. This is the team in the NBA that is 30th in points in the paint scoring. They're without DeAndre Ayton, and they put up 66 points in the paint yesterday.
I know.
What's that?
Again, I think it comes down to being patient offensively. Not, the Blazers are pretty good, very good 3-point shooting team. There have been some off nights, but you can't really rely on that all the time. And I think that is another point of emphasis where if it's not the right shot, be patient, look for the guy, who's dashing through the paint, who, you know, they have their plays that they run, but also sometimes, you know, plays get thrown out the window, and it just comes down to looking at each other and feeling it out and saying, okay, where are we going here? And you got guys that haven't played together all that long. Like I mentioned, Delano Banton. Ashton Higgins was awesome last night. He came at the same time as Delano. So new guys to the system. But when you talk and you are patient and you're looking for that extra pass, the right pass, and sometimes that is someone, you know, looking to go down low and post up. And it's interesting that they did that without, as you just mentioned, DeAndre Ayton. But you got Dwop Reith, who's a crazy threat because he can shoot threes. That's what I was looking for. That's what I am looking forward to watching tonight, because last night, Dwop Reith, who's a very good 3-point shooter in general, but not to mention, you know, he's a center, which you don't see very often, but he was left wide open last night. And I think because of it, because the scout, he's been defended so well around the perimeter, he was kind of like, he missed his first 5, and we're like, what's going on? And I think it's because he wasn't used to not getting defended. Yeah, he's like, what is this? So then the Grizzlies started to kind of, okay, he's going to shoot these, so there's probably a reason why he's going to shoot so many. And so the defense kind of amped up around him behind the arc, and then he started making them. So I'm interested to see if he is defended out there as much or at all tonight, because last night he wasn't, and that kind of affected him. So either way, maybe that's actually the right call, is to not defend him around the 3. But yeah, so points in the paint, it's interesting how you'll have a guy that, you know, is very good at scoring in the paint in DA. He doesn't play, and everyone kind of picks up the slack. And yeah, I'll be interested to see if that carries over again to tonight, because that was an interesting stat to me as well.
All right, let's do this last one, because there was 6 guys in double digits for the Blazers, and you mentioned it. I mean, both teams are playing with guys that are new to the team, and opposite fans might not be super aware of.
Correct. Yeah.
Let's go with you can't say Jeremy Grant, you can't say Anthony Simons. One guy that, if Grizzlies fans didn't watch last night, can look forward to seeing tonight, and we'll have a big game for the Blazers.
Yeah, that's a good question. I could say a few. If I had to, I would say, I mean, he played well last night too, so I think that tonight we'll see the same. He's just a spark off the bench, is Jabari Walker. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He comes in, he's fiery. You'll love this. So I saw we all talked about it on the broadcast. He hit a 3, and then we saw him, and he's a quieter guy too. Like I said, we got the quiet ones. He responded to someone on the Grizzlies bench, and then the next time he hit a 3, it was even more so. And even our broadcast team brought it up. Kevin and Lamar, like, who's Jabari talking to? He's not. That's kind of out of character for him. So I asked Jabari after in the locker room. He said it was Ja. As soon as I hit a 3, he said, "That's you don't have that. You don't have that." And so Jabari, who's a quieter fella, looks over and he's like, really? And then the next time, I don't know if it was the next, he hit it again. The next time he hit it again, he looked over, he's like, I think I got that. And it was all in fun, but I was like, that is so funny, because Jabari is not someone that is usually engaging in extracurriculars. But when John Morant's talking to you and you're hitting your shots, it's almost like a badge of honor.
That's so cute. Okay, that's a really good storyline, and everyone loves Ja here in Memphis. So that's the person that we're going to watch today, because that's adorable.
Yeah, just for fun.
But seriously, thank you so very much. I will see you in a couple hours at the arena. Go enjoy the sunshine. It's brought, and
we get our picture when I get there tonight. We didn't do that last night.
Oh yeah, that's annoying. Okay, picture and a good game tonight.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.